Hey everyone, it's Caroline from Woo Money Mastery back with this week's video. And today I'm going to talk to you about the most important first step that you have to take if you want to be successful budgeting. So if you've seen my other videos, you're familiar with my cash framework. So the four steps that I believe you need to be successful budgeting. And step one, the letter C, is the most critical. No, it doesn't mean critical, but the first thing that you have to do if you want to be successful budgeting is to create your vision. Now, why is that so important? Why is dreaming the biggest pie in the sky, ideas that you have, hopes, wishes, and dreams, why is that the most important thing? Right. And that is because if you don't know where you're going, you are never going to get there. Right. So I think about it. I was just talking to someone earlier this afternoon, and it's so easy for us when life gets busy just to get caught up in our daily routines, right? Stop at this gas station on the way home, pick up groceries or take out from this restaurant, grab a cup of Starbucks with a friend during your lunch break because that's the easiest thing to do. And you get caught up in this routine that you lose sight of what it is that you actually want. So, step one to budgeting to achieve all of your goals is to create your vision. What do you want? What is it that you want? And there is nothing that is too big or too small to hope and wish and dream for, right? In this step of the framework, you can really put anything out there. I remember when I started budgeting, I was just looking to pay off some credit cards that I had, and that seemed totally outlandish. Being able to afford an apartment on my own with my two kids seemed absolutely crazy when I was living paycheck to paycheck. But because I budgeted, because I stuck with it, because I followed the framework, you know, now I've been able to achieve that and so much more. So step one, create your vision. What is it that you want, right? It's really important because once you know what you want, you're able to start taking steps to get there, right? If you turn on your GPS, you're going on a road trip, what is the first thing that you do? Is you input your destination, right? Now that doesn't mean that there's not going to be an accident on the freeway and you're going to be rerouted or you're accidentally going to take a left turn when you should have gone right. But the beauty of creating your vision is once you know where you're going, that GPS is always going to reroute you to get there. And budgeting is just like that. So, creating your vision is truly the most important step so that you can begin successfully budgeting. Now, after you create your vision and you identify whatever it is that you want, that's kind of at that point is that's when you have to kind of assess what reality looks like for you, right? Like you may want to buy a multi-million dollar beach house and you can totally do that. But if you're starting from, you know, making minimum wage or working part-time, you're going to need to identify that it might take longer to get there, or you're going to have to make certain lifestyle changes. Maybe your beach house isn't in Malibu, but it's in a different country where property is a little bit cheaper, right? So the next step after you identify what it is that you want your vision and your hopes and your dreams to be is to assess where you are right now. By doing that, you're able to see what's actually realistic. And there are times when if you actually look at your numbers, at what's going on in your life right now, you may realize that you're closer to that dream than you ever even thought, right? And that's so exciting because that gives you that spark, that gives you that energy to go get it instead of just getting caught up in the daily grind, right? The rinse repeat of everything that we do on an automatic basis without even thinking about it. Now, another part of identifying where we are right now in relation to our goal is it, it allows you to see, um, you know, what is possible at this point. So if you don't have a lot of time, that's something to take into consideration. If you don't have a lot of money, that's something to take into consideration. And what your brain starts to do when you have that goal, instead of being put off by it, right? It's not possible for me. Your brain starts to naturally think, but how? Right? I have this dream. I have this vision. I can feel it. I can taste it. I can smell it. I picture myself there. And when you have that purpose, your brain will help you figure out, but how can I get there, right? But how can I make it look differently? If I don't have time, what is a resource that I have? If I don't have money, do I have other resources? Do I have skills, right? Do I know people? um, is there something in my life now that I am more motivated to change because now I have that greater vision, right? So this is why the first step to budgeting is to create your vision, because with this, everything else becomes possible. Everything else begins to fall in place, and you can go forward and really start to create that life of your wildest dreams. Now, just kind of a word of some things that I have popped up, right? So we all know life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. So you could have this amazing plan for this vision and start taking steps towards it. But what happens when life happens, right? Say an unexpected expense comes up, some medical issues, some bills, something with family that you weren't anticipating, right? Whenever kind of a life change happens like this, it is critical to reassess where you currently are in relation to your dream that you cast, right? And this, I always recommend to reassess your vision and your goal whenever you have any kind of life change, whether it's good or bad. If you get a promotion or a raise, if you move, if you have something that's not the greatest, right? Because just like that GPS analogy that I gave you earlier, this is one of those reroutes. This is a perfect opportunity for you to take control, you to take charge, you to identify and acknowledge that this is a rerouting period on your way to your goal. And, sometimes if you're in a road trip, you're rerouting, you realize maybe I no longer want that goal, or it is no longer serving where I'm going in my life. And that is okay. That is the beauty of setting up, creating your vision and this four-step framework that I have, the C.A.S.H framework, because instead of life happening to you, you are taking charge. You're in the driver's seat. You are being proactive and mindful, and you are the one who's calling all the shots, right? And this is really the magic of how you start to get your money to work for you instead of you working for money all the time. So anyway, I'm just super excited about this. I wanted to share this with you guys. Something that I've noticed has been coming up in the challenge that I'm running, the Financially Flourishing This Fall Challenge. It's still not too late to join. We're just on week 2. We've got the whole month of September. I'll drop the link down below in case you're interested too. But I wanted to leave this with you guys. Hope this is helpful. Let me know what your thoughts, or let me know what some of your biggest, boldest, most audacious financial goals are. I'd love to hear them, and I will see you in the next video.